بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. In the name of Allah, the merciful, the beneficial, and peace and blessings be upon Muhammad and the sons of Muhammad. In everyday life, we do commit actions and behave in a certain manner. We do socialize with others. We do build ties with others. We become creative when it comes to business, when it comes to work, when it comes to our career. But the question is, why do we do all of this? A lot of people are trained when it comes to customer service to smile in the face of their customers in order to gain their trust and promote their business. While a person who is driven by love of Allah and a true belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should smile in the face of others to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more than anything else. He might have a secondary goal of winning the trust of the other party, but the major goal, the core goal, should be pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, the objective of all believers should be pleasing Allah, should be getting close to Allah, should be ensuring Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the witness that we truly resemble His love, that we truly worship Him, that we truly want to obey Him. A lot of us might worship, but not want to obey. A key aspect in an Islamic personality is to be driven from within. The drive towards worship should be intrinsic rather than extrinsic. You should be driven from your heart, from your consciousness, to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to attempt to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the most important lessons learned in Karbala'a is when Imam Husain alayhi salam said in one of his speeches that the only objective of the Prophet's household is to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why whenever he saw his family members get martyred one after the other, when he saw his eldest son Ali al-Akbar, he brought him back to the tent and he said, "O Allah, if you're the witness, and if this happens in your eyes, I completely accept." He said in many situations, هون بي ما نزل بي أنه بعين الله, which means it's bearable only because Allah is its witness. It's bearable only because Allah is its witness. Imam Hussein alayhi salam, if Allah was not his witness and he didn't feel the presence of Allah, he didn't feel Allah was seeing everything, he probably wouldn't be able to control his emotions. He couldn't bear and handle what happened to him. In one of the scenarios, when Imam Hussein alayhi salam brings Al-Qasim, the eldest son of the son of his brother, Al-Imam Al-Hasan alayhi salam. Al-Qasim was an orphan and who went to fight bravely. He kneeled down to tie his sandal, and an enemy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came over and struck him on his forehead, and later on attempted to decapitate his head. Imam Hussein alayhi salam lifted Al-Qasim and brought him back to the tent. And according to some narrations, he sat between his eldest son Ali and between Al-Qasim. And both of them were youth. And he was hearing in the background the women weeping and the mothers crying out. Such situations are unbearable for any person who does not believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is his witness. He doesn't see Allah. And this is a key factor and a very important lesson and a crucial lesson to be learned from Karbala, is to feel at each and every moment in our lives that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our witness. Allah sees us. Inna Allah yara. Allah sees. But our problem is that we did not deny this reality with our tongues. But our hearts do not acknowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our witness. Our minds might have reached to this reality, but our hearts have not. And that's why, even though Allah sees us, even though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our witness, we rarely stop committing sins because we feel that Allah sees. Bearing witness is not only when you are oppressed, like Imam Hussein alayhi salam was oppressed, and he was faced in a very cruel war. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being the witness, should be implemented in each and every stage in our life. You should feel right now that Allah sees you. I once thought of myself and said, how come when I sit in front of the camera, I try my best to not have any negative actions? Why? The answer is, I do not want others to see my negative traits. I do not want others to see me commit sins. Well, the question is, do I feel the same when it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Unfortunately, we are sometimes embarrassed from others more than we are embarrassed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by committing sins. We're afraid of losing our social status. We're afraid of losing our society goodwill. But we're not afraid of losing the connectivity with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So a key factor over here, and a very important lesson, is to know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our witness at each and every moment. If you were driving a car and you knew that the road had cameras which are fitted all over the highway with detectives for each and every car which exceeds 100 kilometers per hour in speed, and you were speeding at 160, if you saw the camera once, you would actually take your precautions to avoid the camera catching you over speeding. Well, this should be the case as well with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who sees us at each and every minute, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who's our witness at each and every minute. The key lesson over here is that our goal should always be to please Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should be our witness and is our witness at each and every minute. Pronouncing it with the tongue, knowing it with your mind is not enough. What we really need to reach to is acknowledgement from your heart. And this should be the goal. This is the lesson to be learned. May Allah enlighten our hearts with the love of Imam Husain, and peace and blessings be upon Muhammad and the sons of Muhammad.